Hey there, welcome back to Reddit Dating, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. Now, let's get into the video.
My beloved wife cheated on me and my daughter isn't mine. How can I move forward as well as shake angry feelings? This is going to be a lengthy one. My wife and I have been married for 21 years. I assumed it was one of those miracle marriages since we never fought. I appeared to be the best of friends and so on. A buddy gave our 15-year-old daughter a 23 and me item for her birthday. And of course, it said that we were not related. She had me do a swab as well as her mother and her 14-year-old brother. Her brother and I were the only ones who appeared to be linked. So I took a paternity test, and lo and behold, she was not my kid. My ex-wife begged and pleaded for me to listen to her, but I became numb to her. It's one thing to cheat, but discovering that the light of my life isn't even remotely connected to me destroyed me. Don't get me wrong, I adore my child. Regardless, she is still my daughter. But what scares me the most are my ostensibly spiteful urges. I've never been like this before, and I know it's because I'm angry, but I want her to suffer so much. The youngsters despise her to the core. On the one hand, this encourages that desire, but I know that deep down, she is still their mother, and I don't want them to despise her. Her parents and siblings are all embarrassed by her. Her sister hasn't called her in a few months. We all grew up together, so it hit hard for everyone. Again, this makes me feel amazing, which terrifies me since I don't want her life to be in ruins. But I can't help but feel happy when I realize that something in her life is crumbling. Both children are living with me since they don't think much of their mother right now. I'm thinking of having the conversation regarding them talking to her since they're currently refusing. The aspect that crushes my heart the most is that my daughter seems to be overcompensating for her daughterly responsibilities. She always tells me how much she loves me and is, in essence, the ideal daughter. But I can tell she's doing it because she knows she's not biologically mine, but she desperately wants me to know how much she loves me. I'm really going to speak to her about it tonight. Telling her that she doesn't have to change her behavior. I just want to know how to get rid of the sadness and angry, vindictive feelings. I want to move forward and help my children move forward so they don't have to worry about school and adolescence. Please, any advice would be much appreciated. Update. Both my child and I are currently doing counseling. Although my therapist in many comments on my last article recommended me to do so, I have decided against coercing my children into talking to their mother. They are of an age when they can comprehend the gravity of the situation and express their own opinions on it. Since this is the case, they will need to organize their thoughts and feelings about dealing with it on their own time, with whatever assistance they require from me, obviously, with any help they need from me, of course. The suffering my daughter is going through looks to be subsiding a little in some ways. I've successfully persuaded her that my feelings for her will never change, and that she will always be considered my child. Her pain does not appear to be related to our relationship any longer, but rather to her newly discovered trust difficulties and trauma from her family's disintegration. Additionally, she's confided in me that she feels like it's all her responsibility, and that the family would still be intact if she had never brought the kid home in the first place. Then I wrapped my arms around her, assuring her that she had done nothing wrong, and that she was simply looking for something enjoyable to do with her family. She had no idea what was going to happen, and she should never hold it against herself. A single chat with my STBXW took place during which she implored and pleaded with me to forgive her, and that she would cherish me for the rest of her life was a turning point in my life. That it was a waste of time, that it meant nothing, and that she deeply regrets her actions. She also stated that she believes our love would be able to weather the test. After all, if our love was truly strong, she would not have felt the need to seek consolation in someone else's arms. She is currently residing with her mother and father. I've spoken with her sister, and it appears like she is on the verge of committing herself. Their attempts to enlist her assistance have been unsuccessful because the only thing she wants to do is see me and the children. As a result, I'm putting off serving her with divorce papers until later. I don't want to add anything else to her list of things that will exacerbate her health problems. I brought up the subject of talking to her with my son and daughter, but they were resolute in their refusal. I'm going to honor their requests and give them the space and time they need to adjust. That she doesn't really care about how it makes any of us feel, and that she only cares about the fact that her picture-perfect family and the cushy life that we had are about to be taken away from her because she did something wrong is a nagging sensation in the back of my mind. Attempting to mend the relationship and move on is not something I want to do. That's all there is to it for now. Story 2. She cheated and I thought we were a success story. It's going to be a long one. I've been married to my wife for 21 years. I figured it was one of those miracle marriages since we never argued, we seemed to be best friends, and so on. For her 15th birthday, a friend got our 15-year-old daughter a 23 and me gift. And of course, it said that we had no relation. She had me do a swab as well as her mother and her 14-year-old brother. Her brother and I seemed to be the only ones who seemed to be connected. So I got a paternity test, and lo and behold, she wasn't my ing child. My ex-wife tried and pleaded for me to listen to her, but I had become numb to her. It's one thing to cheat, but finding out that the light of my life isn't even closely related to me shattered me. Don't misunderstand me, I love my kid. Whatever the case may be, she is still my daughter. But it's my allegedly malicious inclinations that terrify me the most. I've never felt this furious before, and I know it's because I'm mad at her, but I don't want her to suffer so much. The kids loathe her to the core. On the one hand, this feeds that desire, but I realize she is still their mother, and I don't want them to detest her. Her mother, father, and siblings are all by her. Her sister hasn't phoned her in a while, we all grew up together, so it hit hard for everyone. Again, this makes me feel incredible, which scares me since I don't want her life to be in shambles. But I can't help but smile when I realize that something in her life is falling apart. Both of my children live with me since they don't think much of their mother right now. I'm considering having the topic about them talking to her since they're presently refusing. My daughter seems to be overcompensating for her daughterly obligations, which breaks my heart. She constantly expresses her affection for me and is, in essence, the perfect daughter. But I can tell she's doing it because she's aware she isn't biologically mine, but she urgently wants me to know how much she loves me. I'm going to talk to her about it tonight, telling her that she is not required to modify her behavior. I simply want to know how to get rid of the melancholy, as well as the rage and vindictiveness. I want to progress and assist my children progress, so they don't have to worry about school and puberty. Any advice would be much appreciated. Update. Both my child and I are undergoing therapy. In spite of the advice of my therapist and numerous commenters on my previous essay, I will not press my children to speak with their mother. They have reached an appropriate level of maturity to comprehend the significance of the problem and to establish their own opinions about it. This means that they'll have to take their time finding out how to cope with it, with any assistance they may require from me, of course, with any help they need from me, of course. My daughter's discomfort appears to be lessening in intensity. I've managed to persuade her that my affections for her would never alter, and that she will always be considered my daughter. Rather than being concerned about our relationship, she seemed to be concerned about her recently discovered trust issues and trauma from her family's dissolution. She has also stated that she believes she is solely responsible for the situation, and that the family would still be together if she had not brought the kid home with her. I hugged her and assured her that she had done nothing wrong, and that all she wanted to do was have a good time with her friends and family. The fact that she was about to experience something terrible, or that she should never blame herself, was completely unknown to her. It was during one of our conversations that she begged me to forgive her and vowed that she would cherish me for the rest of her life. In response, she stated that it was insignificant and expressed sorrow for having done so totally. She also expressed her belief that our love will be able to withstand any adversity. I explained to her that if our love had been so strong, she would not have felt the need to look for solace elsewhere. She agreed. She is currently residing with her parents at their home. I've spoken with her sister, and she appears to be contemplating suicide. Their attempts to enlist her aid have been unsuccessful because all she wants to do is spend time with me and the children. As a result, I'm currently awaiting the opportunity to serve her with divorce papers. I don't want to make her health problems worse by doing anything else. I offered that my son and daughter speak with her, but they were adamant in their refusal. I'm going to go along with their wishes and give them a little more breathing room. The nagging feeling that she doesn't care how it makes any of us feel, and that she's only concerned with the fact that she's going to lose her picture-perfect family and the pleasant life we had before, and that it's all her fault, has been bothering me for a while. I have no desire to try to mend the connection and move on from the experience. That's all I've got for the time being.